Hello. Now we're going to perform the CashFlow Pro automated AR deposit and invoice matching with journal entry. In the last video, I showed you how to set up your mapping. Then we put in our aging export, our bank export, and then we went to extract customers so that we could put in the detail from our bank export and then extract those customer names. And then we matched it with our GL customer name ID, and then we put in our historical notes and we processed that to research. Then we went to the matching tab where we ran the first macro, step one, and it populated our table. And now we're ready to perform. The first thing to look at is up here at the top. We want to make sure that we're in balance. And through this entire process, we want to stay in balance. If there's any reason that we're out of balance, we need to note that. Okay, so let's scroll over and look at column W. Right here, this is going to tell us what our helper columns are pulling in. So you can see that we have several columns here with information that we don't necessarily need. We're getting the invoice, but we're getting a lot of everything else. So we're going to go ahead and just get the invoice. We can go ahead and override the formulas because the formulas have done as much as they're going to do. So we have 4 of these to do, I see. Let's fix this one. Next one. And fix the last one. The next thing I'm going to do is research all of the yellow cells. So for this second line, which is line 2, I looked in our email and I found that this is a multi-invoice transaction. So our support source is going to be email. And we're going to go to line replacement so we can put those invoices in. So we're going to be replacing line 2. And I'm going to copy the invoices from the email. Very good. So it populated everything we needed, and we see that we are in balance. So we're going to go ahead and process this to mapping, and I'm going to pause it while this cleans up. Okay, so the macro has finished and has returned us to the matching tab. So we can see line 2 here has all been replaced. And the most important thing is we are remaining in balance. But when we look over, we see our conditional formatting has kind of taken a hit. And so we're going to just refresh that. So up in the top left, we can refresh our details, which refreshes the conditional formatting. Okay. Very good. So the next line that needs to be reviewed is this one right here, which is M and R. Okay. So let's look and see what we have to do here. Okay, so I reviewed the email, and what has happened is this is a brand new invoice that was not in our aging report. So they've gone ahead and made a payment on it, and so they've just activated it. So I added it to the aging export as a one line. And so now I'm just going to get the email and I'm just going to paste that invoice in right here. Since it's just a one line fix, there's no need to do anything else, but I'm going to change this to email to. Now, for those of you who know that support has to come with this, this is not actually my support name. It's just the name for the video. Okay. So the next line looks to be our lockbox. And that is going to be line 9. So let's go to our lockbox. We're going to put in line 9. Okay. So we're going to get our check numbers. We're going to paste those in. Okay. See, we're beginning to populate. Now, each one of these checks is associated with multiple invoices. So we're going to enter the number of invoices that each check has associated with it. Okay. Okay, so now once again, we're populating more, and this has created each line that we need for our invoices. So let's go ahead and put in our invoices. Okay. Lastly, we can put in our check amount. Now you can do this at the beginning if you want. Okay. So it looks like we have one issue right here. And that's true. This invoice right here is a discount that was taken by the customer that they should not have taken. So this issue will have to be escalated. But we have to make the deposit on the invoice side equal the deposit from the bank. So we have to stay in balance. So we're going to go ahead and put in negative 3693.65. It's giving us a warning saying this may trigger a partial applied status. The answer in this case is yes. Amount has been changed. However, this is not a partial amount, so we're going to put in ESC. That'll work just fine. For escalate, so that I'll know to hand that over to the controller so they can talk with the client. Oh, looks like we're out by $3. I put in the wrong amount, so let's go ahead and change that. Yes. And just paste it in. There we go. Yes. Changed. And change our wording. Very good. Now we're going to process the lockbox to matching. And go ahead and pause while it processes. All right, the macro is finished. It says checks have been populated on matching, so okay. We go back to matching, and we can see line 9 is all populated. There's our check numbers. Everything is populated just nicely. As we can see, our conditional formatting is off a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and refresh that again. Okay, that's great. So now we look and we see we have all invoices. We have apply oldest to newest. And luckily for us, we have a macro that's going to do all that work for us. So all we have to do is click step 2. If you're wondering, I am going to let this one run because I like this one the most. So I want you to see exactly what it does. So there are 2 steps to this macro. The first one is it's going to go in and look for all invoices, and it's going to populate everything. Then next, it's going to do apply oldest to newest, and where it finds that the amount of money does not equal to the newest invoice, it will give it a partially applied label. So, okay. I am going to go ahead and pause. I'm getting a notice that I need to look at something. So while this, oh, well, let's see here. Nope, let's go ahead and pause so I can look at that email. Okay, so as we can see, everything has populated in the first step. So now we're waiting for the second step to apply. Go ahead and pause again. And step 2 is done. Very good. So we see we have our partially applied amount right here because it did not fully clear this invoice, but it is oldest to newest. We see we are still in balance. So we can scroll over and look at all the data. Now our invoices are all the way down to stock. All of our dates, except for this one, are populated, and we expected this. This is an escalation. So we're going to have to turn that over to the controller. So it's time for us to put in our journal entry. So we're going to go ahead and close our helpers, which are any column says helper. That makes it much easier for us to read. And then on these lines that we do not want to put into the journal entry, we're going to put a check mark under exclude. We'll exclude those two. If your version does not allow for these checkboxes, you can just put an X in this column. It will perform the same function that is already built into the code. Now let's make our journal entry. That's it. Let's look at the journal entry. Now it's ready to copy and paste and put into the GL system. Thank you for watching CashFlow Pro. I hope this works out well for you. If you would like me to customize this to your company, please send me an email or a note, and I will discuss the price of modifying this specifically for your company. Have a great day.